So you said you like, writing better than speaking, and I can really sympathize with that, because for me anyway, when I write, the process of because when you speak, there is no revision. It's just first and last time. It's almost like this Zen, always be present. But with writing, you can always revise it or reconstruct it. What is the revision process for you? How do you revise your papers or essays, or do you?
Yeah, after I've written the first one, I liked having somebody else read it. So doing the in-class things was pretty nice. So I usually let somebody read it that I really trust, and then I look at it at least 2 more times, and I go through and change all the little errors. Usually my default is run-on sentences. They're way too long, and I read it usually 2 more times and get rid of all of the run-on sentences. And the revision process is when you can really make it beautiful, because what you initially put down on paper is just speaking. You put it down and you're like, oh, why did I say that? It doesn't even make sense. So I go back and take away all the bad stuff, and so revision is really important, and having somebody read it is really important.
So when you say beautiful, are you talking about the way in which it sounds, or
the language? The word usage. I think when people write, I think they get so hung up on what they're trying to say that sometimes they forget about using correct words, or the words that make the most sense in the sentence. So especially, I do it all the time. I use this word and then that's the wrong word. Yeah. So I go back and fix it.
What are some of the writers or books that really you take as a model for really good writing? Is there any?
Yeah. Okay. So this is really random.
Yeah.
The actor Stephen Fry?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Irish?
He's British.
Is he British? Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
The guy in V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's Irish. But go on about his work.
Okay, I'm gonna check it after.
Yeah.
So he is an amazing writer, and I didn't know about him really, I didn't know what he wrote. So Hugh Laurie, the guy from House.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's British.
He's British, and they're best friends.
Really? I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, they used to have a comedy show on BBC. It's a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. So I totally love House. I used to. I don't really like it anymore.
Yeah.
It's stupid now. So Hugh Laurie wrote a book, and it's really good, by the way. In the back, he talks about. They asked him that question. They said, "Okay, who do you like to read?" And he's like, "Anything by P.G. Wodehouse." Have you heard of him?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
He's part of every British schoolboy's, at least of the previous generations, of reading. Like George Orwell was a big fan.
Yeah.
And he even wrote an essay commemorating that guy's work, Wodehouse's work.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. And this, his work is also, because Britain is just not Britain. It includes all of its empire. So I had a friend, a roommate from Pakistan, who also loved his work.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be so cool. Huh. A Pakistani guy was like, I love Wodehouse.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Okay, so he said, I love P.G. Wodehouse. And I was like, who the hell is P.G. Wodehouse? What? So I went out and I found his books, and he's hilarious. His work is great because it's he doesn't write about anything important that's so funny. That so then the other thing that Hugh Laurie put in his book is that Stephen Fry is a really good writer. So I read two novels, and then he wrote his autobiography, and he uses words I've never ever heard before, and his vocabulary is amazing. And I know they're strange books, and they probably kind of be hard for some people to get into.
What kind of books does Stephen Fry write about?
They're fiction. The one that I read that I really liked a lot is called The Hippopotamus, and it's really hard to even say what it's about. It's about this these people are receiving letters telling them to come to this house out in like the English countryside, and one of their relatives had just died. And sorry, it's been a few years since I read this too. That it's just about like the way that the characters are different, and there's a lot of weird tangents that you just have to like kind of like reading like Murakami, just slice of life and like different things that he's doing. That the crux of it is that the young boy who like the son of the people who live there, they think that he's magical, and like a lot of different things happen to make everyone think that yes, he is magical, but well, you gotta read the book. It's wild, and there's some pretty crazy stuff in there. So that what's really impressive to me is that I think he uses a lot of like personal experiences in his novels and like parts of his life in his novels. So I don't know. I would recommend reading the autobiography first, because from there you can kind of see like what he's gonna write about and where he's coming from when he writes.
How did he get into his Stephen Fry's writings? Was it through his television or film work, or what was it?
It was from reading that interview with Hugh Laurie in the back of, of Hugh Laurie's book.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, I like Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie's, I would say he's not quite as complex of a writer as Stephen Fry, but this feels so dorky to talk about. Like, I like actors' books, but that in there, I was like, okay, I like Hugh Laurie, and I really like Old House, so I'll probably like Fry, and he's a really talented writer. He's like written and directed some movies too. Yeah,
I believe so. I don't remember exactly what they were. Have you seen them?
I think one of it's called Bright Young Things, and no, I haven't. It's on my list of stuff to watch. Yeah,
I feel the same way. I got all these movies and books on the back burner.
Yeah.
I might get just completely burned, you know?
Yeah.
Unless I get to them very soon.
Yeah.
But what else? What any other like fiction writers or non-fiction writers or books or even plays that affected you the most as a writer?
Well, obviously The Rhinoceros is my new favorite.
Yeah, you like the Ionesco?
Yeah, the Ionesco.
That's cool. We gotta finish doing that.
Someday. Yeah. Gonna be finished. I really... Oh yeah, Nishima. I love Nishima.
That's right.
And I really like Murakami now. I really like Douglas Adams. Like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. I've read like all those books. I love him. And trying to think of somebody else that I really like. Unfortunately, like I like the Dalai Lama's book. That I haven't been reading a whole lot since I've been to college.
Isn't that kind of weird, because in college you're supposed to be reading a lot, but you're so busy, there's no time to read.
Well, you're reading, but it's like textbooks and,
that's right.
and things that are assigned to you, which are usually good, but it's just, yeah.
Yeah, but the classics, you know, you rarely get a chance. Like I was talking to a graduate student here, and we're going to organize a Marx reading group. We're going to read Das Kapital, Volume 1. And because... you know, all these people, they want to read the book, they've heard of the book, but they never had a chance to read it. And I think having a reading group like that, you know, is a very good incentive, because regardless of, you know, your schedule, you make time.
Right.
You know, at least take a look at it, even if you haven't read, you know, everything word for word.
You're much more committed if you're going to do it with like a group of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're also able to argue and think about the text in different ways that make you retain the information more, and also to think through the text.